I said like 3 sentences and I wasn't recording. That's absolutely tragic, but thank God I noticed early. Uh, Hi, welcome to 71D commentary video. I'll just talk about like strats and mindset and I don't really know, but I have a lot to talk about. So hope you enjoy. I don't know how long this is gonna go. So firstly, this death, right? This death. Uh, I've had many deaths similar to that, and it's kind of embarrassing. It's not really embarrassing. It's just like silly. Like I press down and then I release grab too early so that I keep momentum from the down press, and then I like barely miss the neutral. Like the moral of the story is you don't do that, but I just rush. And when I say I had many deaths, there's like I can't think of anything like this that happened past 1K. But yeah, it happens. I and it's pretty goofy.
What happens there, by the way, is
And then here's me explaining that.
start taking, like, I have to rush it less. I have to take.
Okay. Yeah, this one had a lot of songs by RKZ and Lemon Demon, which is nice. That is like a large percentage of my playlist, but during the run, that is actually 100. Well, no, right, because there's that one Philip Glass song, Glassworks. I sure hope it does, but that blocks the video in Russia, so I edited that out. Yeah. Okay. So to start, interesting tidbit. You can't pause immediately after restarting a chapter. So like, if you go too fast here and press pause, it'll just drop your pause input, and it doesn't matter, but that is a thing, and I think that's interesting. Because I took a while to figure out what that was. This is a timing strat, and it's mostly for fun. Like, I could just stand on the block and wait, but it's mostly for fun. This part's pretty self-explanatory, except like if you're low enough, you can die to the spinner. It's just very rare, and it's always funny when that happens. Also, you can go bottom or top here. Bottom is just literally harder, but I did that sometimes because I'm a goofy guy. Also, you can say hi to the bird. I didn't say hi to the bird this run. I want the commentary to be like coherent, right? I don't want to just like ramble about random stuff. So I'll try to make it watchable. Yeah, this is pretty simple as an up dash buffer. You kind of have to be precise on this right press. Like, not precise, but like it is possible to be too far left here and have that kill you. This wall bounce is unnecessary, and I didn't do it for the first like 250 hours, and then I started doing it for fun because I was bored. So, wall bounce. There's some details on things later on. I actually didn't like analyze everything frame by frame beforehand, so maybe I'll do that during this video. You can go over this, but I preferred to go under. I don't really know why, but I never died to it, so. See, I gotta try to explain things. A failed wave dash. True. Oh yeah, okay. So depending on where your positioning is when you buffer this up left, the jump on this super can either be a 3-frame or a 2-frame. It is more commonly a 3-frame, I believe. I think it was a 3-frame here, if I'm not mistaken. I think so. I think it's a 3-frame here, and yeah, you just jump early on the super.
The whole, like, speed being conserved into and out of grab state is, like, scuffed as well, by the way. That's why that one down press and 2K4 is really
Yeah, just timing strats.
But it's so awkward because
0 meters isn't the most notable thing ever, but it's like, it's still hard. It's all hard because it's 71D, you know. If you do this spring cancel badly, you can save this with a corner jump, and that's always funny. Also, sometimes I'd miss this buffer up dash, and there's like a similar buffer up dash in Agma Room 3. So like missing that was a big concern. I like just really focused on not doing that, and then I kind of stopped doing that. But then sometimes I was jumping late, and then I hit the spring on the way up. So I don't know why that input was like an issue. Like I only died there like 20 times, but that's way more than the average input. This up dash is a 4 frame, and you can skip it with doing like waiting for the refill. Clantis did that, but I didn't want to do that because that's fucking boring. And also, I'm pretty sure I literally never died to this input, so like saving time.
Makes you the janitor, I think. They kind of do.
Yeah, this is chill. There's a small funny here, which is that if you do a corner boost off of this, there's a very small window where you can die. I think it's precise to like 0.1 horizontally. And you also need to be like good vertically because you can't collide with the block. Otherwise, that normalizes your horizontal subpixels and you'll never die to the spinner. So you have to like, in order to die to the spinner, it's so precise. And I did that like once. Now I took it slower. I also those 2 climb jumps were a time save that I like only recently started doing. Apparently in old versions this used to be like 2 uprights. Like this spinner wasn't here or something. That old 71E versions are weird. But I mean either way it doesn't matter. Either way is free, you know. Okay. Oh, 6 minutes and we're past the checkpoint already. Ooh. This is huge. Yeah, so this is not that insane. It's just a corner jump. You press right to move away from the spikes, and also don't jump that high to avoid getting a 0 frame if you mess up the right press. Like just ultra safety. Hard to mess up. This is mess upable. This right dash, but it's not. It's pretty good. It works most of the time. This room's not that bad. Like in 7D, 500 meters one is one of the hardest rooms, but it's not that bad here. This room, though, there were just like random periods of time where I just keep dying to it for no reason, and it kind of sucked. But, I mean, I guess I'm done dying to this map altogether now, so that's kind of nice. Like, this climb up is just like, it is weird. It's not that hard, but it's weird. It's easy to lose muscle memory on. Yeah, I don't know. Lots of weird deaths here. Next room coming up, 500 meters 3. Very, very hard room. I actually found a new strat here during my arc, my second arc, which is you dash into the wall to set up subpixels, and then because when you interact with a bino, it centers it. No, when you interact with a bino, it puts you on the same horizontal pixel, but it doesn't normalize your horizontal subpixels. So if by dashing in the wall, into the wall, I normalize them, and then this corner jump is lined up, and then if you do a wall kick, which you have 10 frames to release right, because of you get like 10 frames of force move if you do a non-neutral wall kick or whatever, it lines up the spiked wall bounce pretty well. And this skips a hard thing where you like, oh, do I remember? You can corner jump there and then right dash and up dash, and then you like do a really weird awkward wall bounce around there and dash up and then corner jump. That's like awkward and takes a lot of time. The strat's pretty nice. Like it's not that huge, but it's just nice. It makes the screen shorter and easier. This jump is hell. It's really hard, man. What the hell? What is this? That's so hard. Obviously you want a slow fall. If you don't know, if you're holding jump and your speed is between -40 and 40, your gravity is halved. That is to make the jumps feel more natural, but you can do that even after non-full jump. So you press jump once and then press it again, and then you fall slower. Wow. And then, as far as I'm aware, I'm pretty certain of this. This jump can't ever fail if you slide onto this pixel from the top. I don't know if it can fail if you Yeah, I don't think it can ever fail if you slide onto this pixel from the top. So if you're too low, you just do a little jump and then slide down onto it. Uh, I will explain. Well, I can explain it now, and then I'll explain it again later, I guess. But yeah, when you slide down onto the top pixel of a block like this, the game moves you down half a pixel every frame until you're on the pixel, and then it moves you down an extra quarter, and then you stop moving. So what that results in is it results in you always being in the middle half of this pixel, and yeah, no matter what, I'm pretty sure the middle half works for that jump. And then this is some more slow fall abuse, like I'm holding jump to slow fall. This is just dead ass a setupless 3 pixel gap. It's not like that bad, but it's you die to it. That's a funny strat. If you fast fall into this room, then your positioning is different than if you don't fast fall. And that makes it so that you have more frames to right dash, basically. Also, this corner jump is hell, by the way. This corner jump, like, and I probably died there like 10% of the time. It's kind of fucked up. 500 meters as a whole is like maybe the most inconsistent checkpoint pre 3K. Like, it kills most runs, I'm pretty sure. But depending on when you release this, you'll have a different amount of momentum, and you'll have to like adjust the timing of the corner jump. It's really difficult. You also need to make sure you don't bonk on the zipper by releasing too soon. It's really hard. And apparently you can do a 6 jump here, but I don't like that. I'd just rather not do a manual pixel lineup if I could. This is what I was doing before. I prefer it. I think that's lame. Look at the bird, too. You get the bird. I was talking about this in the run. Here's a funny inconsequential thing. This corner boost, you can either get extra speed from it or you cannot get extra speed from it. And I was trying to figure out how to get extra speed from it consistently. I never labbed it, but I came up with the hypothesis that jumping earlier on the hyper is better. I guess I'll give a quick corner boost explanation. So when you collide with a wall, you get retained speed. Also, when you climb jump towards a wall, you get plus 40 speed. However, if you climb jump towards a wall after colliding with it, it won't affect your retained speed. You basically just won't ever notice the plus 40. That's a bad way to word it. You just won't be affected by the plus 40 at all because your retained speed will just come back, and it doesn't affect the retained speed. But if you don't collide with the wall, like here, I'm pretty sure I'm 1 pixel away. I get an extra 40 speed, and then I go slightly faster. Absolutely huge, I know. Yeah, this is, you walk into the, oh yeah, screen transitions normalize subpixels a lot, which is really nice. Your speed, it normalizes to the nearest whole number, I'm pretty sure. And your position, it just completely centers you on the pixel horizontally and vertically. So here, if you just walk in and then stop holding right on transition, then enter the bino, that sets up subpixels. But subpixels don't even matter here. Like, if you mess up subpixels, all that's going to do is instead of doing a wall kick, you'll do a crouch jump. And there is, like, kind of no difference. It's slightly different, though. So I just wanted to get the same thing every time, obviously. That's always nice. Also, something funny. When I first did this checkpoint deathless, I was like, I've never been the best with zip movers, and this whole thingamajig with these two guys, this whole thingamajig, it was hard for me. So instead of doing that, I did a reverse hyper across the transition and a frame perfect up demo, which set up an upright to corner jump pretty nicely. And I don't know why the hell I did that. I sucked. But I realized like the day after that I should just do another thing, so I started doing different things. Crazy. Yeah, there's kind of a visual cue here for the jump. And I slide against the block and then grab it on the way down. You don't need to do that. I think my strat's like slightly different than Clentus's, but this is how it works for me. I do 2 climb jumps there to get like a comfortable amount of height. Hit the spring wall bounce, yeah. Now this input is actually one of the tightest inputs in the map, but I never died. I do die to it, but like it's rare. It is uncommon for me to die to it. I got really good at it. Uh, I'll just show you the input and then I'll explain it. Bam. Okay, so that's the input. This is a variable 1-2 frame. So like if you do the neutral too high on this zip mover, I did it good here. This is a good spot to do the neutral. So this makes it a 2 frame. But if you do it badly and you're too high, that'll make it a 1 frame. But it's okay, because if you're late by a frame, you won't collect the refill, but you'll still live. And if you do that, you can slide against this wall, you can tap down into a pixel to be at the top 0.25 of it, and then full jump neutral around these spikes off the screen and corner jump there, and it's a save. And you might be thinking, that sounds really hard, and deadass, it's not. Like, it's so consistent. I can do that save like 100 times in a row. A lot of times in a row. Maybe, probably 100 if I would. But I didn't have to do it in this run, which is honestly kind of sad. It's a funny ass save. Bam, bam, bam. But oh yeah, something else that's funny. I played New 71 the after this just to like remind myself of what that was like. And you know, this refill respawns, right? That's like, I mean, you can't see it, but you could see the particles. It doesn't respawn in New 71D. For some reason, there's a lot of refills that don't respawn in New 71D, and it's like tragic. Alright, thing about this is, again, retain speed. When you collide with this wall, you get 4 frames of retain speed. But if you get speed away from the wall, your retain speed goes away. And you need to do that here, or else you're gonna retain your speed directly into these spikes. So you hold left. This is already, my throat's like a bit, it feels a bit off. I've already coughed a couple times. This is gonna be a long recording, but that's okay. Yeah, nothing really to note here, except for the fact that like I do it like overly cautious, just because that's what feels the most natural. And this strat's cool. There's just 2 pixels where you can stand here and then jump and then dash down and corner correct, and you grab this wall 100% of the time. And it's pretty nice. Like the wall bounce isn't like the hardest input ever. But it's not the easiest input ever. So it's nice to be able to skip it in a free way. You gotta make sure to not have lift boost on the jump, but it's not that precise. And did it happen this run? Oh, it did. Okay, so a funny thing about this is this doesn't matter at all, but whether or not you are ever like on this frame, I'm pretty sure I'm on the pixel above the zipper. That triggers it. That's what triggers the zipper, and then it goes. Most times it won't go, but it go. Yeah, that's just a super.
Yeah, I'm about to reach 90 new hours.
This is a timing.
Not that unlikely.
I'll right to time it, and this is like awkward as hell. But if you mess it up by like wall kicking here, you can save it by like reacting and jumping. It's pretty savable generally. Oh, this neutral's tight. It may not be an input that you think would be tight at first, but this zip mover moves fast, and when you let go, you do not move fast. So, see, when do I let? Yeah, I let go here, and like you only have like 2 or 3 frames to neutral. I think it's like a variable 2-3f, and yeah, it's relative to a button release, so it's not that bad, but it's a tight input. It's dieable. And you technically can neutral around here instead of climb jump, but I do enough stamina preservation so that I don't have to do that. And the climb jump is much easier, so I use some extra stamina there. This part's funny because you're intended to do a lift boosted wall bounce here and land on this zip mover, but you can just jump and up dash and wall bounce. You don't have to grab the zip mover at all, and it's like way easier.
That's cool. I saw you post the time.
This screen used to have the battling orb be lower, but now you need an extra climb jump at the end. And this climb jump I do into the ceiling here is vertical subpixel manipulation so that I am pretty high. Like, I'm not as high as possible, but I'm high enough to give me, like, some extra frames in some edge cases. You know? You want to try to, like, dash up early so that you don't fall down too much. And yeah, so, you know the deaths, you know, like, the death I had in 1K where I tapped down and then fell off? I had that death here, like, 3 times. And it's pretty stupid. I got, like, that's dumb. Yeah, so I was reluctant to use this setup at first because I kind of liked this being a choke point, but I gave in and I used the setup. This sets off your height so that if you dream double jump, I don't know if you have to buffer. I always aim to buffer the dream double jump. Then if you buffer a down right after an upright demo, that just sets you up pretty well to enter this. And for this dream hyper, I don't do an instant hyper. I do the dash, and then I time the jump in refill freeze frames. So, you see how I had 2 frames of movement before? That gives me 8 pixels extra of distance, which makes that up dash way easier. That up dash can be hard if you don't do that. And I'll explain demo hypering versus down riding. So I can jump after the dash starts with a right dash, but you can't do that with a down right. So that makes demo dream hypers just have a literal larger frame window. What you want to do for dream hypers is you want to aim to press demo and then jump 4 frames later. And if you do this timing right, there's an 8 frame window where you're able to do that. At least for the general case. For this one, it's a bit different. For this one, it's an odd one because I buffer dash and then buffer jump in refill freeze frames. But for like the general case, you want to try to do that. There's a good video by Eugene on that if you want to know more. Yeah, that dash is a thing. You climb jump twice to reset subpixels. I mean, I guess I'll explain this. I feel like most people probably know this, but... Okay. So when you collide with a solid, you get set to like 0.5 pixels away from it. So if I jump into this wall, and then I collide with it, I'm going to have 0.5 subpixels. And if I jump into the ceiling, I'm going to collide with it and have 0.5 subpixels. So by doing 2 climb jumps, you just normalize your position. Like, climb jumping in the corners is powerful, basically. This up dash is straight up a 2 frame. And I never died to it except for like 1 session ever. And that 1 session was funny because that was the session where I labbed it and I found out that it was a 2 frame. And then like I just started dying to it. It was all over for me. But after that, I stopped dying to it. So, yeah, and it's a 2 frame because like, yeah, you're intended to do a down left and a jump then a right dash. That's really hard. You can just do a single down left if you dash at the right spot. Nintendo's kind of fun though. It's just harder, unfortunately. And you can do infinite up and down dashes to stall, and I hate that so much. Clantis did that, and I despise it. I hate that strat so much. I don't know, dude. The 2F is way better. Okay, not bad. We're getting through this. So I jump before entering this dream block so that I enter the dream block uncrouched. Because normally, if you do a down dash on the ground, you'll enter the dream block crouched. And when you exit, you'll dash left and uncrouch into these spikes and die, I'm pretty sure, if you buffer it at least. But by jumping, you uncrouch after the first frame of downwards movement, and then you can buffer. Yeah, that's that. This input's kind of weird. This whole thingamajig is weird, but you get used to it. I guess I'll talk more about like the actual grind experience at the end. I think that's what I'll do, because I'm kind of just describing the strats right now. Then I'll talk about like mindset and the actual grind after this. Fun fact: this is a rare part that new 71D buffs. You have to down dash and an up dash into the dream block to get more height, and this refill's gone, but the refill's here in old 71D. So.
JavaScript seems like an interesting one. I feel like you don't need many.
Man.
I feel like you wouldn't need many dashes because there's like weird hitboxes and stuff.
Yeah. So. What I do here is I look for these guys to be like right next to each other, and then I wait for my lift boost to run out. You only have like fucking 5 lift boosts, but that's enough to mess you up on some subpixels. So you wait for that, and then wall kick away sets up a dash through there. And then this is just kind of platforming. I don't have to explain much here. I can grab spam to conserve stamina, you know. If you're flashing red here, you can't trigger these blocks at all, so you need to do this redless. This part's funny because there's like 2 things that can happen that can go wrong, and they're both just reactable, but it's just funny when they happen. Like, sometimes you'll slide down and grab the side of this block, and then you have to jump up, and sometimes you'll grab the bottom of this top thing, and then you'll have to release. It's just pretty funny. I used to time a drop down here, but sadly, the down left is better. Timing the drop was dieable. But, I mean, it's lenient as hell. This is another part that was buffed in new 71D. There's spikes on this wall, so you have to do a climb jump. But it's still free. But I'd go to that wall because it's easier. In an older version of 71D, I'm pretty sure... I think this is, like, entirely different. Yeah, this is, like, weird and entirely different. I don't fully remember, but I think he had the 5 jump. It was weird.
That sounds fun, and, like, not a big commitment.
Oh, yeah. Here's something you have to take into account. So, when you dream hyper, yeah. So, for several dream hypers in this checkpoint, this one, and I can think of, like, one in orb, yeah. You have dash. Oh no, not even that one. Never mind. But for this one, you're still in. Oh, hold on, I forgot another thing. Oh, we'll go back to that later. So I demo into this block, and by doing that and grabbing the side, I grab in a crouch state, and that's bad, and I don't want that. So what I do is I release grab a bit to uncrouch, and then it's fine. And then this, you're still in dash cooldown for a couple frames after exiting the dream block, so you kind of just time the dream hyper late, pretty much. It's silly. That's the thing you have to keep in mind that makes it tighter, but it's still not that bad. And this is just always a buffer, and then you can hold left. That's kind of a cool obstacle. Yeah. Okay. So, 1K orb, hard room. I've died to this room a lot. A lot of them are throws, but... So, this input used to be a big issue for me. Like, I used to just time an up dash, I think. There's something. There's like a bunch of things you can do here. But then one stream, Issy suggested dream double jumping, like, kind of, like, as a thing. Like, I think she was like, oh yeah, but that'd be so awkward, though. But it turns out, I prefer it. So I do a dream double jump left to cancel my momentum. Now, why does that cancel my momentum, you ask? Well, when you jump, it just gives you 40 speed in the direction that you jump. So if you do 2 jumps away from the direction of your momentum, you're going to slow down a lot. And that's going to be good news for living fans. This is another one. Oh, okay, yeah. So, dream blocks are funny in that when you enter them, you have to stay in the dream dash state for 6 frames. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think. Yeah. So I exit the dream block here. You might think that I'd exit it back here. Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh. That's not how it works. So you have to time it probably pretty counterintuitively, this dream hyper. But it's not a big issue. Yeah, nothing happens here. I had a death where I redirected up, I think. I don't know if that was in practice or in an actual run. This part's interesting. You got a neutral pretty high up. This is in an older version of 71D. This used to be like way easier. You used to just literally be able to go left, and there's like a dream block here, and there's like no spikes. The orb was lower. It's so chill. But not anymore. Now you have to do a neutral pretty high up to get enough height to wall bounce here. You can also spike wall bounce here, but I don't think that's good. This corner jump, technically there are bad subpixels that exist, but by sliding against the wall, all the possible subpixels you can have are good. So, and then you just do a pretty quick neutral here. It's lenient though. See, it's lenient. Why does that look like that? Huh? Is that just what neutrals look like? Why does that look like that? Am I insane? Why does that look like that? Why do I do a like I do like a I don't know. Is that my keyboard? Is that a quirk of the game? I don't know. Well, okay. If I grab if I was truly grabbing on this frame, watch me logic my way through this. If I was truly grabbing on this frame and I input jump, that would be a climb jump. So I'm not. Wait. Oh, did I just hold left into the wall? And then the literal frame before I jumped, I released left? Oh my god. Why did I do that? Okay. So I think deadass I was one frame away from missing the neutral by holding. Why the hell, dude? Dude. I hate that. That sucks ass. Why did I. Okay, why was I even holding left there? I guess I just released it. I released it after grab. I know Nowood says that's. I don't know, dude. Whatever. and then this is like mildly precise, but not that bad. You have to like sort of preserve stamina. This whole thing, so when you jump off of a wall, when you're able to jump off walls, walls to the right have priority, and that's bad because if you wall bounce off of this wall, you go into the spikes. So you need to go left and like not be in the range of this wall. But if you don't go left enough and you are in the range of this wall, there's still like a frame or two or three, I think, you can jump and still make it. But that kind of sucks. But yeah, you just do the left fest. The left fest is hard though. Like I died to this a couple times. And yeah, that's 1k orb. I used to do a different thing here where I let myself fully settle on this block, but I discovered rare subpixels where that fails, and it's more awkward anyways, so. I mean, I was definitely able to be worked around, but that strat's easier, so. Okay. I don't know how like clear this commentary is at all. I'm just saying shit, dude. Okay. So 1.5k one. The start of this is like the hardest part of 1.5k. So what I do is I use this guy's eyes as a visual cue. And sometimes the dust bunnies randomly blink. So if this guy just decides to blink, then I can't see his eyes anymore and I have to wait an extra cycle. It doesn't matter, but it's funny. Then I know 2 down dashes and buffer a full jump and then a full jump reverse wave dash buffer. These are lenient. Like the timing to dash is large and you'll always end up jumping from the same place because of how that works. It's nice. Springs are like 6 pixels, so all these are just like manual, very awkward 6 pixel lineups. Kind of hard. Like this, hard. Then you want to wait on this block until it starts to fall a bit so the next cycle lines up. And then you just neutral. And then this right press is awkward at first, but I got used to it. It's kind of hard though. And then again, another hard spring hit. Then once you're past that part, you're kind of pretty much done with the screen. There's not much else to do. My visual cue for this was when the guy was moving left. If I bounce off the spring, that's good. It's lenient. Yeah, my visual cue for this is as soon as the guy like reaches the left, I jump and then dash. I jump and then dash because that allows me time to stop moving horizontally before I buffer the dashes. This part's lenient again. You can miss the buffers. Just down, 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 left, down. And it's super, you know. And here you just want to up dash as soon as possible and then hyper B hop, crouch jump. You know, it's not that bad. Here I went to any tiptoe frame and then dashed as soon as this platform like reached this painting in the background. And then this up dash is honestly like not easy, I just never die to it. Here I lowered a platform like a decent amount, it's pretty lenient, and I do a 12F jump. Now, I'll explain how jumping works. I kind of did this before, but there's like several parts of a jump. There's the initial part where you in the like the jump timer where you move up at a constant rate. And then there's the part between that and slow fall, and then slow fall, and then yeah, after that. If you release jump between the jump timer ending and slow fall starting, it'll result in the exact same jump. So that's what I did here. God. Too much talking for me. Like I'm not Hold on. Okay. Yeah, full jump is too high, so you do a 12 to 17F jump input instead. And it's okay if you miss it by a lot. Like, it's lenient. You can miss it by like a couple frames. It's fine. And then you want to not buffer jump here. Because if you do, there's a chance you won't get lift boost. You gotta like wait a bit and then jump. But don't wait too long, because then you'll get too little lift boost. Okay. This room is free. I died here once because I missed a buffer left dash here. Which is, I mean, silly. It happens. Only one death. Yeah. This room is not... Finally, I don't have to like explain anything. This room, you get it. You know. You can tell what's going on here. I guess except at the end where I do a pixel lineup and then a wall boost. Like the right press on the wall boost can happen anywhere from I think like 1 to like fucking 12 frames after jump. It's so lenient. Maybe not 12, but it's lenient. Just jump and then press right. 1.5K4 is a hard one. In fact, that's where the 2x attempt died. Yeah, you do that. You right dash and then hold down. And then you jump when this guy starts moving right. And then, so, okay, let's introduce the problem. The problem is this cycle, you can go too fast and you can go too slow. You want to react to... Like, if you go, like, early or late on this jump, you want to adjust accordingly by going faster or slower. This takes more time sometimes. Like, you just gotta react to everything. And then the place at which you stall is between this up right and the up dash. Like, if you're going pretty slow, you can just buffer them. If you're going too fast, you want to wait a bit. And then that'll buy you some time so that the guy moves out of the way. Does that make sense? You just like... It's not that bad. This is the easy part of the screen. Okay, then here. So again, I use the guy's eyes as a visual cue as soon as they reach the left, and then I jump, and then so depending on how fast I am relative to this cycle, you move like either further left or further right. So here I was in the like a bit to the right of the middle. That's what I read that as. If you're going too fast, you want to be further left so that this guy has more time to get out of the way. Something worth noting is that the hitboxes of moving objects always lags behind one frame. So like you see where this guy is right here? That is where its hitbox is on this frame, you know? So yeah, I mean, I lived. You can be too far left here, and then after the down right, you can hit this. I think I got pretty close to that happening, but it didn't happen. Here you want to just be like, I don't know, line up the middle of Madeline with the left side of this crystal, and then up right twice, right dash. And this part's weird. So when you buffer a right dash and then a down dash, in like this distance, you sort of move over to the right a bit. So like I'm on the left, I'm like left of the center here, and then I do this, and now I'm right of center. So you have to keep that in mind. You kind of just want to be like left a bit, and then yeah. So you demo this right dash so that you can move under this guy. Like it may seem like it won't matter because you'll down dash immediately after anyways, but the demo does help sometimes. It didn't help here, but it helps sometimes. Then again, you want to be like on the left half because you move over a bit to the right after buffering everything, and you go. I don't know. There's like a ton that goes into that. You kind of just get okay at it. You get good enough at it with time. And this is a pixel lineup, and then like 2 down dashes and a jump and an up right to time it, but you want to like go like not as fast as possible. Because you want to give this guy time to move past here. And then this down left is pretty hard, but I got consistent at it. I don't know the frame window of it. Here you do a full neutral, a smaller but still decently big neutral, and then another full neutral. And then if you're too like, if your second neutral is too small, or if you were like too fast, this spring's gonna be a bit to the left, and that means you need to delay your right press after hitting it, so you don't hit this guy. But then you also need to make sure you don't hit this guy at the top. So, yeah, it depends. Also worth noting that springs reset your horizontal momentum. So if you start like holding right like 2 frames early, that'll have like no effect overall. This neutral's interesting. So this guy's moved over a pixel from like being grid aligned horizontally, which is nice. It makes it not as position dependent as it would be. But hypothetically, there's a 0.09, I think, pixel range where you could neutral and then be a pixel too far left here. But for some reason, that just literally never happens. Like, I've done this hundreds of times and that has not happened. So I guess it's like sort of a sub-pixel setup. I don't really know how, but it lines up every time. Then you can just down right and hold left, neutral, buffer right dash. Yeah. Now I line up on this pixel, and then this sequence of dashes is pretty lenient. Like, yeah. Something worth noting is, dust bunnies usually have regular spinner hitboxes, right? So, like, if they're moving... These guys have completely regular spinner hitboxes. They have the rectangle in the middle, and then, like, the circle around them. But if an object is... If a spinner type object is spinning, like this guy... the rectangular bar is gone because it serves no purpose. So the hitboxes of these guys is just circles, which I didn't know that for the longest time. Yeah, this is lenient, and yeah, these cycles are always linked. So 3 uprights into this spring's always good. If you don't waste any time, which will happen most of the time, then you can just do 2 up lefts and then buffer left and up. The buffer left and up dash is not only good because it like makes this gap set up. It's not the hardest gap in the world, but it makes the spikes on the right of the platform not triggered, which makes this weave more more forgiving, you know? Okay. Man. And this is just the pixel lineup. And yeah, this is self-explanatory. And then there's another pixel lineup. And then you wait for the cycle to work. I go when this guy moves left. It's better to be late than to be early on this, but it's lenient regardless. If you jump on specifically this cycle, okay, oftentimes I'd have to wait like 20 seconds here for these guys to like be nice. But if I go on that cycle, I call it the fast cycle, then it's completely fine. You can like wait one and then just go here and there's like no risk, it's fine. You can also like land here and then jump and up right onto here, but that always felt like slightly more risky. So I didn't do that. Okay. Yeah. Okay. 2K1. For a while, I had like a crazy pass rate on this room, like fucking like 17 for 17. I just pulled that number out of my ass, but I like did it a lot. And then I like died to it like maybe 4 times in total, so I got owned. Basically, you go over here, you gotta make sure to hit the wind trigger, and you up dash, you can right dash and then up right, and then you do like 2 non-neutral jumps, like you release right for the jumps. And that like sets up your position pretty well. And here you want to wait a bit so that you get proper lift boost from the cloud jump. This right dash is, I think, a variable 3-4F, but maybe it was 2-3F, I don't remember. This is pretty chill. It's, yeah, it's like possible. Like this is just awkward. You gotta make sure to extend. You gotta make sure to jump the right height. It's awkward, but it's not that bad. Crouch jump here is good. And this strat's legendary. The Enox found it. You can just do a reverse demo hyper. It's pretty lenient. Then you land on this wall, and then you can like completely normalize your position for this cloud jump, which makes it that's a big help. That cloud jump's very hard normally, but with this position normalization setup, it's really not that bad. So here I line up. There's a pixel between me and the spinner, so it's not that dangerous to tap next to it. And then this jump timing, it's a 17 frame. Like you can be very late on it, and it still works. You just hold down and right. Like it's free, completely trivial. Yeah. So if I remember correctly, wasn't this upright like a 3F? I don't remember. Maybe it wasn't. But this upright's a 3F. This upright demo is like a 3F with no good Q, and somehow I never died to it. Like I just don't die to this input somehow. I don't know how. And then, something interesting here is there's like a top part to the screen, you know, right? So there's a camera target trigger that like locks your camera to this height. But it locks it to a weird height. Like there's an extra full ass tile, I'm pretty sure, that is not shown on the camera. So it like looks like I'm off screen. I should be dead right now, but I'm not off screen. I'm on screen. I'm just off camera. So if you enter a bubble crouch that's raised 2 pixels, those 2 pixels are a really big help for this part because height is a pretty big issue. This is funny. Upright buffer up, and then if you hold left, you can do like I think it's a 5 to 12F down press. Like you do brief fast fall, and then that sets this up. I just think that's goofy. And then again, you demo into this bubble, and then up right, and then you have a bunch of frames to up left demo. Demo into this bubble for more height, and then the up dash is a 3 frame. I don't know if you can get more frames if you like don't. It's probably it's probably always a 3 frame. I don't know if it can be a 4 frame. It doesn't really matter. You can buffer demo here, buffer all that. And instead of doing a spiked wall bounce here, I did some wall jumps off of these spikes, which I found to be easier. As long as you have speed. Okay, let's talk about what speed is. So, like, speed is just like, yeah, you know, like, okay. okay, how do I explain this? The wind just like pushes you after collision is checked for. No, that's okay. If you have okay, if you have speed away from what rightward facing spikes, they won't kill you, and the wind doesn't affect your speed, your like internal value of speed. It only just moves you. So, it's pretty easy to like spam right and spam jump, and make it up. I prefer that to wall bouncing. There's a cutscene here. Look at the puddle. Oh man, I can't believe I'm done with this, Golden. That's actually just I'm done. Wow. This screen has a big funny. So of course in 7D there's like a little gray pixel that was added so that you can use that as a visual cue to line this up, but that isn't here, so you have to like just line it up without that visual cue. But it's not that bad. And here, I do a neutral when like the block is like here relative to the background tiles, and then upright, and then press left during the upright dash, so I'm facing left, and that sets up a grab here. And then I climb jump, and then wall boost the way after grabbing this crystal. Now you might be wondering, what does that do? Well, that's an overclock. So what a wall boost does is you do a neutral climb jump, it takes away your stamina. But if you turn around within 11 frames as a leniency mechanic, the game gives you 27.5 stamina. It's supposed to refund your stamina and like basically just convert it into a wall jump. But here, what happens is I do a climb jump, right? So it takes away my stamina, and then I get the refill, which refills my stamina, and then I turn away and I get an extra 27.5 stamina. So now I have more stamina than the normal max. I have 137.5 instead of 110, and that makes the rest of the screen pretty trivial. Another thing though is jumping off of diagonally moving move blocks is like RNG on the with the lift boost they give you. Like you can either get the horizontal boost from them moving left, or you can just not, and it is essentially a 50-50, like pretty much out of your control. So instead of doing any of those, I developed a strat to just be able to wall boost everything for 100% consistent momentum, and yeah, I do that. And the screen's pretty chill. My throat hurts, and I'm like not halfway through. Well, I mean, my throat hurts. I had a death once where I slid off of this block. The thing about moving blocks is that they are less forgiving. Like normally with a block, if you tap too low so that you're off of it, you'll just re-grab it. But not with moving blocks, like in here and 2K Orb. So I kind of just died there. Here I use it turning into an X is like timing it. Oh yeah, a thing happened here, but it's honestly not that notable. That's a little lineup. And then I failed the buffer right dash here. Sorry. I'm sorry. I timed the jump when the snowball is like here, relative to the background tiles, and I buffer a right dash usually, but I failed, so I saved it by uplifting, and that's fine.
See, I accidentally didn't buffer half of it, but that's okay.
Okay, so standard, yeah, visual cue when the snowball's there. Snowball supers, you just kind of get used to the height you have to climb up to. I think they're kind of like annoying, but I like how they play into the golden. This one's set up, you can like spawn the snowball here and then right dash here, and then you automatically hit it, and then up left dash. And here, you can do I time it when this guy is lined up with these spinners, and then you do a full jump and then a small bounce, and then you line up here. And then, I generally waited. I wasn't doing this the whole time, but you wait to slow down, because again, this is the thing I was talking about at the beginning. Like if you're sliding down onto the block, you already have some speed, and then doing a down press is gonna move you more than if you didn't have speed. So I wait for the speed to run out, and then I do the down press. But it's like a very awkward down press. And you demo this because, okay. When you bounce off a snowball, I'm pretty sure the game like snaps you up to a certain position vertically relative to the snowball. So it is possible to be like high enough here that you die to the spinner. So I just demo that right dash. And here I go like, so there's a few pixels between this background tile and me. And then I go a bit after the snowball spawns. Honestly, it's just feel. Then you upright, like, yeah, and then you like right dash pretty early. Fun fact about snowball hitboxes, by the way, they have a kill box and they have the box that you can collide with. And the box that you can collide with sticks out 1 pixel left further than the kill box. So like, it's possible to hit a snowball if you're all the way down here, but it requires you to be on a specific horizontal pixel. I haven't found any strats that utilize that yet, but I think that'd be cool to abuse. Seekers have a similar thing when they charge, except it sticks out way more, so that it's not that precise. Oh yeah, and then here, I kind of upright when I like reach these background tiles, and there's a small delay between the uprights. And then if I'm, that's kind of close. Did I mess that up? I genuinely think I might have messed this up. I think I might have done the first upright too early. Yeah, like I think I did it like 1 frame too early, so that I barely ended up hitting this. You want to do the uprights a bit later. That would have been a sad death. Damn. And then if you're too far right, which I was here, you can release right a bit, do a little stutter, and then repeat with the up uprights. And visual cue, I use when it's past the spinners here as a visual cue. And then I use midpoint between this refill and this block as a visual cue. And then yeah, just a snowball super to the end. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention this, but when I reach 1.5k, I minimize chat because I have a tendency to just get distracted by chat. Like I just like look over, I see a message, and for some godforsaken reason, I read it during like gameplay that matters, and I die. Like I minimize chat to avoid that happening. Like 1.5k that's only after the first third. But it is, I don't want to have distracted deaths in the last 2/3 of the map. So, which, by the way, balancing wise, honestly, I don't even know. I'll talk about this later. I think in like the closing thoughts. Yeah, so nothing much happens here, really. Honestly, this interaction with the battling orb and grabbing this block, I have no idea what happens. I don't. Oh, is it? Oh, wait, maybe I do know what happens. Okay. So, okay, my hypothesis that I just came up with now, like I literally never thought of this before. When a battling orb throws you, it throws you either like, if you touch the left side, it throws you from the left. If you touch the right side, it throws you from the right. So, I think you want to touch the left side so that, yeah, and if you're not centered after a battle and throw, which you never will be because she starts with throwing you at the side, you move at a speed of 40 towards the center point. So I think that has something to do with it. I think moving towards it might be an important detail. Okay, what is that? What the hell? I have no idea, dude. What? Wait, what? Oh. Wait, this is bizarre. Hold on. This is like a bizarre order of operations thing. Like, okay, is it like, when does I don't know. This is weird as hell. That's all I know. I really, wait, no, hold on. What I said there doesn't even apply, because that's for fucking the final battle in throws. That isn't a final battle in throw. So, I have no idea what's happening there. I should maybe look into that. Anyways, let's go back to the strats. I timed the release like when half of these particles fall off the screen. It's very lenient. You have like half a second, maybe a full second. I don't know. This whole thing's awkward. You want to press right really early because that matters. And this stutter downwards is hard. Like, this is a hard part. I died here twice. Once the first time I reached there, and once in Art 2. And yeah, you can't let this block stay against the ceiling too long or else it'll despawn. I don't actually know how many frames it takes, but it's like pretty forgiving. Okay. Man. We're really saying words with this one. An hour in already. Yeah, fun fact, you can actually skip the second snowball hit at the end, but I mean, I just think it's worse. Like, you can skip the snowball hit, but you have to remember that the snowball hit is free. So what I do is I time 2 jumps, then when I hit the ground, I up dash, it's lenient, and then you up dash at peak height, you buffer up left, buffer up right, buffer up, and it lines up the snowball hit very nicely. It's pretty cool. This strat's funny, because, like, okay, initially my strat was to, like, line up on this block, and then dash right, and then climb jump over. I line up so that I'm low enough so that I don't have, like, retained speed over the edge, and then you do a turnaround. But that turnaround's hard. So instead I do this, which is I do 3 1F taps up inside of this pixel, which would obviously logically guarantee you are in the top quarter of the pixel, because they each move you a quarter of a pixel. You can tell each 1F tap because Madeline actually moves a bit. So if you drop an input, it's fine. If you do it like too short, you won't see anything, and if you do it too long, Madeline will just move up to the next pixel, and you'll know you did it wrong. So you can tell by that. Just have that happen 3 times, and then now that you're in the top 0.25 of this pixel, that guarantees this demo to be a 6-frame timing. Looks like I dashed on frame 2. Yeah, I mean, it's not that bad. It's pretty chill. Although this one's like, yeah, it's pretty chill. There's like a fear of hitting the spinners, but I never die here. I don't think I died here like once, even in practice at all. And a funny thing about this strat is like, Clantis told me in my stream, he was like, hey, you know, you can line up on this block to not get retained speed to avoid the demo, and it's like, yeah, I did that before, but it's harder. The demo is easier, so I did the demo. And then that lines up grabbing this really good. The reason why the turnaround's hard is because you need to be at the top of the block fast enough. And if you do the turnaround poorly so that you're low, you'll just, like, you can just miss this. Here's just the pixel lineup and then a down right. Ooh, this is a funny interaction. So for some reason, I don't know the conditions exactly, but if you're on the side of a block like this and you demo, the frame the dash starts, the dash immediately like gets cancelled, and then you're put into climb state. So I'm grabbing this block crouched right now. Madeline is holding onto the block. I'm pretty sure she's holding onto the block. I think. Oh, maybe I'm insane. No, I think that's it, because you can, like, hear a grab sound. I'm pretty sure that's right. Either way, demo and jump line setup. Moral of the story. Now, this is another one, except the visual cue for telling when you up press is harder to see. So I go into this pixel, and then you look at her like, you know, tired sweat animation, and you can tell when you up dash if that gets cancelled. It's pretty hard to see, but like, you can tell. So like, wait, let's get one to happen. Yeah, I think that was one. it's hard to see, but you get it. Then here I prefer to just do a small jump and then slow fall, lines that out nicely. This is just a pixel lineup. You want to like demo high here because height helps. And wall bounce late because again height helps. This turnaround's like kind of awkward, but I don't think I ever died to it. Actually, did I? I died to it in practice. I think I died to it. I remember one death to this, and I don't know if it was in practice or an attempt. Either way, I do a pixel lineup here, so that I guess I should explain this. This B-hop is infinitely retryable. If you jump too early, if you release jump too early, you won't do the first jump, but you will jump for like a hyper later, and then you can react and up left, and then left dash from the crystal. If you jump too high, you'll be able to bunny hop still, but it just won't be lift boosted, and you can do the same thing. This is a one frame. You need to do a one frame bunny hop, but it's infinitely retryable, so it's not fucked up. I don't know if I buffer jump. I don't know what happens here. All I know is like the pixel lineup I do makes this upright at the end a 3 frame more often. Like this is the earliest possible frame that I dashed on here, and I'm pretty sure there would have been 2 after this. And yeah, as you can see, that kind of barely worked actually, but it worked. So all right. Oh my God, there's just so much to explain, dude. I have so many words to say. Okay, so this is a bino cancel. So, what a bino cancel is, so I see how I'm facing away from the bino. I do the bino cancel, and now I'm facing towards it, and I can tell that I got the bino cancel. How do you do a bino cancel? You press interact for 1 frame, and then release interact, and then press jump the next frame. Now, doing a 1F tap, that's like hardware dependent, right? There's a way to do bino cancels that isn't that, which is that you can like jump, and then before you land, you can press interact and jump. And interact presses, for some reason, are like on a 1 frame delay. Like if you press it 1F early and you're able to interact like the next frame, you'll interact. And if you press it, like it's weird like that. But basically, the buffer window for the interact ends 1 frame earlier than the buffer window for the jump. No. Basically, look, you press interact like a couple frames before you land, and then if you do it right, you can just buffer jump and never release interact. I don't think I explained it well. I didn't, but like, I don't know, just basically, if you can't 1F tap, you can just press interact and jump before landing, and it works. It does the same thing. You can tell if you get it if you turn around. Now, what does this do, you might ask? Well, the game has a failsafe so that if you're in a bino, if you're interacting with a bino and you room transition, it'll reset your state to normal because you're not supposed to be doing that. But the bino cancel we did, the interacting flag is still set to true even though we're clearly not interacting with it. So our state gets set to normal at the transition. What this means is that I can just do a grounded ultra and keep the speed from it and fly past here. And that makes this up dash like a 7 frame instead of a 4 frame compared to like a down right dash. So it genuinely helps. It's really funny. And here, I do a whole thingamajig, a whole rigmarole perhaps, to be able to do this right dash not in this bubble. Like, from the bubble, the right dash is a 2 frame. From jumping, it's a 4 frame, which is way easier. Absolutely miles difference. This down right's a 4 frame. I think this right dash is a 4 frame. That up right's a buffer. You have to slow bubble here, because slow bubble buffers happen like relatively 1 frame earlier than fast bubble buffers. If you fast bubble this, you can't make it through. You have to slow bubble and then buffer right dash out of that. I'm pretty sure it's because if you slow bubble, you're like stationary for the first frame of it. For the first frame of dash cooldown. Either way, they happen 1 frame earlier. And this is just a 3 frame timing. Redbubble 3 frames are pretty chill because like there's an extremely clear visual cue, you know? That's a buffer. Funny thing is, you're definitely supposed to use this guy, but like you updash and then you go to the right to avoid this crystal, then updash again to enter the bubble, and then you can right dash and collect the crystal. But you can just right dash immediately. It's funny. This right dash demoing doesn't help, and it's a 4 frame, I'm pretty sure. Demoing can help here if you press right before the demo. In fact, did it help here? I don't think it did. I don't know. Then you can buffer that. And then, funnily enough, I actually chose to do a tighter frame window here. Because, like, doing this, that's a 3 frame. If you, like, go up and then right dash twice, I think that's a 5 frame. But the 5 frame is so hard to read. Because you're covered by particles, and you have awkward acceleration because of, like, hit squash state. It's kind of messed up. So I just prefer to do the raw 3F timing. I died to the other strat in a run, I'm pretty sure. But I made it to 3K later that same day, I think. And here, you demo into this bubble to raise it 2 pixels again, and that makes this downright a 5 frame instead of a 3 frame. And yeah, it's ending free. And there's another cutscene on the screen that tells you should return the map. This one's clearly impossible. Yeah, you do 2 climb jumps here. Because if you do 1, that can be bad sometimes. Wait, what? Wait, what? What? Did I do like 2 climb jumps? Hold on. 1, 2. Oh, I guess. I yeah, that's a bit scuffed, but you know, it works. And then you do all this. Demo into this bubble for more height to make this slightly easier to time. You basically just want to bubble as fast as possible to be able to skip that, because that's hard. And here you slide into the wall, then I 1F tap up into here. Because if you're too high on this pixel... Sorry. Ow. The earliest of the 3 frames to dash won't work, and this will be a 2 frame. So you 1F tap up into the pixel. And then that's a 3 frame. That timing I kind of just got used to. And then this is funny. You want to be like far left here to do the demo. This is so that it makes it way more lenient, basically. Like your dash ends, and when your dash ends, you get momentum upwards. So like, even if you dash way earlier, you will get momentum at the end of your dash, and you'll be able to jump. Because of like corner correction, and sometimes not even corner correction, but yeah, being far left here helps a ton. I didn't know that during Arc 1, so I was just like deadass hitting a 2 frame. This is weird. This is a funny interaction. Hit squash is weird. Basically you just stay at 0 vertical speed for a while. You just go right. That's how the game works. Then here, this is a wacky part. I buffer jump and then I press left. And all the possible frames to press left work for this. Now what do I mean by that? Is technically, if you're too high, you can hit the top spinner, but just all the frames work so that that's not an issue. But you do have to demo, because the first frame you uncrouch, you move down 0.125 pixels, and that's important. That saves your ass in a couple cases here. Yeah, anyways, here you do an upright dash, not a demo. I don't think demoing helps. Did I dash on the last frame? I think I dashed on the last frame. How many frames even is this? Is this a 3F? Is this a 4F? Dude, hold on. Okay. Thinking, would this frame work? I don't know. This frame would work. These 3 frames work. Is this a 3F that I just had no idea about? I feel like it's either a 3F or 4F, and I had no idea it was that precise. Maybe I'm insane. I don't know. Anyways, buffer second upright and then hold left, and then you can just like release and grab. Then I do just pixel lineups. I said yo because this bird in D71D says yo. It doesn't say yo here, but I acknowledged the yo. The yo. This is a setup found by Clantis. So you do 2 climb jumps again to reset your subpixels, and then you press. Look at this key. You press the dash plus jump key, because if you dash plus jump while you're grabbing a wall, the jump takes priority first, so you jump and then dash. And that gets you able to re-grab this wall. Then you do 2 climb jumps for both to make you flash red and to line up your vertical positioning. And that makes this left fast more lenient. Like, if you're... Yeah, wow. That barely made it. Wow. Yeah, I'm learning a lot about my run. Yeah, you do that. You do a line up here so that you don't bonk the ceiling early. Yeah. Okay, this screen, there's a lot that goes into it. I think Clantis did a different thing here, and I didn't feel like trying to learn that at all. I like my strat. I never died. I died to the 2F at the end of this room, but I never died to the swap block part. This seems to confuse a lot of people, so I'll just explain it. The main mechanic. Swap blocks, they move for a set amount of time, and then they move back, like, after a set amount of time. Like, you'll notice this even in main game in rooms with multiple swap blocks. They'll travel different distances, but they'll always go back at the same time. This applies even if it can't reach the end of its path in one go. So here, the timer ended and it starts going back. It's like, this is completely vanilla behavior. It just doesn't ever come up in vanilla. Yeah, anyways, it's chill until here. Then I jump, like, about at this mirror part. Up dash about here. And then I, like, jump right about at this pillar in the background. And then, like, you right dash low and then buffer up dash. And then if you do that right, it won't push you into the wall of spinners. Now, I executed this quite poorly in my run, and I lived anyway. Like, I jumped pretty late here, which resulted in... And I dashed pretty late here, which resulted in the... Which results in the swap block going slower, which means it is less far left. And then, this jump was fine, but this dash was, like, earlier than it could have been. Like, I did it good enough. Like, I even had, like, a frame or two to spare. And here, I jump, like, here, and then I upright with a visual cue of here. And if you do that right, the block will go under you, and then you can slow bubble and then left dash at the top. If you're too low and you start climbing up, you'll do like a weird thing, and you won't climb up on top of the block. So you want to left dash high up, and it's not that bad. Then demo into the bubble. It's not that important, but yeah. And here I do a pixel lineup. When you do like a 2F tap on the ground, you do move more than 1 pixel, so there's like a small range of subpixels where if you accidentally miss a 1F tap, you'll like fall off here. So I try to react to that. But like I just like take it slow. I right tap and I'm like, am I in the pixel? No. Like, am I in the pixel? Yeah, now I can you know, I don't know. The black the black dude, it's over. I can't talk. You're intended to just jump off the side of this, but you can do a pixel lineup on the last pixel of the block here, and then buffer down left and then right, and then make it through. This upright, I'm pretty sure is a 4 frame, and this right dash is a 2 frame. Fun fact about this right dash, if you don't demo it, if you do a normal dash, it's just a 1 frame. And this map was made before demo buttons were a thing in game, and it was intended to be able to be completed without a demo button, or without the use of demos at all. So, it is intended for this to be a 1 frame, just like a dead-ass 1 frame, which is kind of messed up. Anyways, entrance here, climb up, dash about like the middle of this tile. I kind of nail it perfectly, and then do 3 out dashes. Sets this up. Hey, we're almost at 3K, guys. Wow. Oh, yeah, I should explain this. So, I go, like, when it's moving down, and then I down dash, like, on the way up. It's like lenient and hard to describe, but it doesn't matter that much. And here, there's a different lineup where you can do a right dash, a neutral, and then an up right, I think, and then another right dash. But if you mess that up by a tiny bit, it won't work, because you only land on this block by like 0.3 pixels. This lineup that I do is cooler and also works by like over a pixel, so it's way more forgiving if you mess it up. Then here I do my last down dash when this blade is like here-ish. And yeah. Something worth noting is you can't jump during a down dash. You have to wait for the down dash to end. So you have to make sure that the block goes down far enough, first of all, so that you have enough frames of lift boost to get a lift boosted jump. And then you need to time the jump right. Yeah, wait for this guy to go on screen, wait a bit, do 3 neutrals, and then another down dash thing. You climb up here. I got surprisingly close to dying to this blade a couple times, but I never did. I feel like I was within a pixel, like, on at least 2-3k runs. I had a really stupid death here once, where my brain stopped working and I pressed left too late. And I just fell into the spinner. That's pretty bad. Okay, so you want to make sure you wait long enough here so that you don't have the lift boost from this block. Because if you do, you'll have lift boost to the right, and when you do the jump, you'll jump into this spinner. That's bad. Yeah, anyways, here's that. Okay, so, yeah, anyways, okay. This is a thing, doing that lineup and then a down right. You have so many frames to right dash here. It's very lenient. This is another failed wave dash. I never analyzed this. Yeah, okay. So I had the full, like, coyote time to jump here. And I jumped late as hell. Hold on. Okay, am I on or off the block here? Let's just say on. So coyote 5 is a 5, 4, 3, 2. It's like second last frame, maybe? I don't really know for sure, but yeah. I lived. And then I updash when that blade leaves the screen. You can buffer wall bounce and then like wait here for the thing to respawn to not scurry. You know how it is. This is just like in 70. You have to demo into this bubble to raise it, otherwise you don't reach the other bubble. It's funny. Well, you don't have to demo. You can also crouch jump. You just have to enter it crouch. But I demo, and that's a 3. Then that's all buffers. The one before this, the first updash here, that's a 3 frame. This is a 3 frame. Then we're buffering. This is lenient. We're buffering. Lenient buffer. And then here, you can go back as much as you want, and I do that to be as safe as possible. I wasn't like the best at this section always, and I got really close to dying here in some runs, but I never did. Just like stall until you're absolutely certain it'll work. And here, I had an Omega safety strat where I wait for the blade to go up, and then me and the blade go up at the same time. And then once that happens, we're good to just slow bubble everything. You have a solid like 200 frame window to hold right there. It's awesome. And then just super from like the middle spot there, demo wherever. Like it's free. Man, you can super there and it's funny because it like can't. You have like no momentum. I got one sub 23k entrance, but this one was not one of them. I missed it by a couple seconds. My time reaching 3k is very consistent, just because I even though I like slow down sometimes, I'm generally pretty consistent with it. And now, all right, so here's the thing. I got too pissed, and I'll just do it fast. You can like skip a minute or two. Sorry. That was crazy. Okay. Awesome commentary video, Nance. Good job. Okay. So, welcome to 3K. Last chat point. Then I'm done describing the strats. So this is just, you jump and then you do like 2 neutrals as lenient. Here you just gotta get used to the spot. Like, you can kind of use the markings in the wall as an indication, but honestly, I just got used to it. And then, yeah, you just neutral up here. Stamina's very lenient. So yeah, what this does is it keeps a dash, and it gets rid of the need to collect flag 25, which is very good, because collecting that flag is, like, not free. Although, maybe if I labbed it, I could make it free, but yeah, don't do that. Also, there's a funny thing here. So, alright, I'll explain the problem, and then I'll explain my solution to the problem. This left ammo is a variable 2-4 frame. Sometimes it's a 2 frame, and sometimes it's a 4 frame. I actually dashed pretty late here. I found a way to make it consistently a 4 frame. If you just hold into this wall, and then do a wall kick, like, while holding into it, and then you, like, release left, then this guarantees you have good subpixels for this. And then you just do neutrals. You need to make sure you go to a stop after each neutral. And then your vertical subpixels are completely normalized, because when you corner correct, that normalizes them. And so are your horizontal subpixels. So you're just in the exact same spot here. And this is always a 4 frame. And you do a bit of, we do a little bit of climbing. It's called we do a bit of climbing. I don't know why I thought this was worth mentioning, but I hold my jump 1, and then I alternate jump 2 and 3. And I have, like, an amount of times I press jump so that I end up on the right side. Like, that one is 6 times. Okay, anyways. So here you do, like, a wall boost into this wall, and then a neutral away. So the way this sets you up to grab this wall, and it sets up this corner jump every time. It's really nice. You can just right dash and do some things. Then on this one, I do 5 jump presses. Ooh, exciting. And Enox, I'm pretty sure, had a strat where he, like, dashed into this wall, and then left dashed twice, and then jumped over to grab the wall. And that is a thing, but, like, I chose not to do this in Arc 1. I forget why. I'm assuming it's because I, like, died to it once, and I was like, nope. We're jumping. Yeah, either way. That completely normalizes your subpixel, as far as I'm aware. You can do an instant hyper. And then, yeah, your subpixel is completely normalized here. And you don't have to worry about, like, pressing left really much, because the spring forces you to hold left for, like, 17 frames or whatever anyways. And this up left timing is a 4 frame, which I think is nice. Clantis did an interesting thing where, like, you reverse and then do a setup spike jump here, which, oh god, I guess this means I explain spike jumps now. Basically, I'm not sure this is exactly correct, but order of operations in a frame is, like, Madeline moves, it checks for collisions with the spikes, and she doesn't collide with them, so she's not dead. But then the wind pushes her down half a pixel, and now she's colliding with the spikes, but the collision check already happened, so she doesn't die, and then she's able to jump off the block. So, like, you can, like, do a hyper bunny hop here, basically. Reverse hyper bunny hop. And technically, that gives you more frames to up left, but, like, you have to stutter to land on this wall, and that's just hard. I hate that. That's, like, so hard. Like, I prefer, like, 4F is free in 71D terms. Like, I just prefer the 4F timing. What the hell? Okay, hold on. What was that? What was this? What's next? The worst Smash Bros. Game. Okay, I'm not sure I care, but, you know. Anyways. Yeah, 4 frame up left, and then you grab the wall. And I think there's, like, an extra frame that works. Or maybe it's a 3 frame, and then the 4th frame you have to buffer climb jump. Or maybe it's a 4 frame, and the 5th frame you have to buffer climb jump. Either way, it's something like that. And here, I do this because, firstly, Enox did it, and it looks cool. And secondly, is buffer to get on this wall, and then this makes the left release more lenient. It makes the up dash buffer like just more comfortable. And like failing the up dash buffer without this is a thing that can happen. I think it happened to me in U71D. I don't know if it happened in a 3K run or not. I think it was just in practice maybe. I don't know. I don't even remember. But like the up dash is mess upable normally, very mess upable. But if you do this, it becomes less mess upable. Stamina management here actually isn't that strict. It's less strict than in 7D because of this refill right here, which is pretty nice. This is a 7D strat adapted to 71D. You neutral off of this wall and then right dash and it lines up this spring hit pretty nice. Oh. Here's something goofy though. Alright. So remember before when I mentioned that you slow fall between negative 40 and 40 speed? Well, and also remember before how wind pushes you, it doesn't affect your speed, it just pushes you. That's the same with downwind. You reach 40 to negative 40 speed like later in the arc of your jump. Like you do the slow falling not at the peak, but a bit after the peak. And in upwind you do the slow falling a bit before the peak. But basically this results in this being weird. Like you think you'd fall faster than you are. So you have to like adjust to that. Anyways, this climb jump is a freeze frame buffer timing. And then I had a death to this upright once, but yeah, it's whatever. Yeah, so this, you want to make sure to down left inside of the hitbox of the crystal so that you only get one set of freeze frames. If you like were to dash like over here, you would dash and get the freeze frames from the dash, and then you'd collect the crystal and get the freeze frames from the crystal, and that just throws you off. Also, you're too far right, which makes the up left a tighter window. You want to just down left when you're in the crystal for a comfortable amount of freeze frames, and then up left ammo. This was scary. I just got within, like, pretty sure a pixel of death there. And I look very mad on this frame. But it's more just shock, not anger. But... oh, boy. Flag 21. Oh, boy. Oh, man. Okay. So, you start with this subpixel setup. And then everything is normalized. Like, okay. Alright, let's just look at it. That's buffered, the uprights into the springs are buffered. It's all normalized, right? The only things that vary are the timing of your up dashes. And also, another thing that varies is this dash is either a 1 frame or a 2 frame, depending on what you do before. So, you can memorize what sequence of dashes results in, like, what thing here, you know? So, here I dash 2 frames away on frame 1, and I dash 2 frames I dash 2 frames away on dash 1, and I dash 2 frames away on dash 2. And this sequence makes the next dash a 1 frame, but I just hit the 1 frame. But if I were to be early on this, like if I dashed on the frame before, I would recognize that I would not make it to this spring and you fall back down. That's how you do that. And then here, depending on your sequence of things before, this up dash is either a 2 frame or a 3 frame. Now, unlike the other one, you can't really go back. You either hit it or you don't. But you can react to recognizing that it's gonna be a 2 frame, and you just aim to hit the 2 frame window. Which the frame that doesn't work is the first frame. Apparently, I guess that one got dropped in this recording for some reason. I think it's skipping over it, but yeah. The first frame. There's a 0.02 pixel range where you won't be able to dash on the first frame you would normally be able to dash, basically. And unfortunately, if you dash 2 frames away on this dash and 1 frame away on this dash, then the last dash will be a 2 frame. But I am able to react to that. That didn't happen in this run, so the last dash was a 3 frame. Okay, so line up here, and then up left demo is a 3F. I think this up dash is like a 4F or something. Yeah, we're just doing upwind movement, very floaty. You know, the upwind moves you 2/3 of a pixel up each frame, so that makes you fall at 2 pixels a frame instead of 2 2/3 a pixel a frame. So what I do is I 1F tap into this pixel to be on the left. Oh, okay, hold on. Let's introduce the problem first. The problem is this refill where there's 1 pixel where, like, if you think about the hitboxes, the top of this spinner is only 1 pixel lower than the top of this refill. But here's the problem: you're falling at 2 pixels a frame, so there's a chance that you will skip past that 1 pixel. Now, luckily, because of the way upwind works, the frame you dash, the game moves you up 2/3 of a pixel. So, like, wind affects you on the first frame of a dash, is what I'm saying. And that makes this only fail in like 1/3 of a pixel range, which is like 1/6 of the time, which is pretty rare. I didn't know that during Arc 1, but I did understand the general issue, and I found a solution to completely normalize my height, which is by doing a reverse demo hyper here and jumping on the last 3 frames. Again, you have to be on the left of that pixel, otherwise it's a 2 frame. But jumping on the last 3 frames of a reverse demo hyper completely normalizes your vertical height. Because you reach max fall speed here, then you dash, and then you reach max fall speed again. So it doesn't matter when you dash. And then you reach max fall speed again. So again, it doesn't matter when you dash. And it just so happens that all possible frames of hitting this refill work for dashing right here. And also you can buffer this one. It looks close, but it had a 0% chance of failing. This never fails. Look at the golden. It's so scrunkly right now. Yeah, basically, that's sub-pixel manipulation. I found that a while ago. It's pretty cool. Like, during Arc 1. Okay, we're getting there. We're almost done. This upright, fun fact, there's a very small range where you can be too low to grab the refill. And that's just crazy when that happens. But, just don't do that. Just time the dash properly. I mean, it's like kind of a tight input, but not really. It's not that bad. Yeah, this is like weird. I kind of like move right before the dash, and that generally sets it up. Yeah, I don't know. This one's weird. You can just do a wall kick away there instead of a neutral, though, funnily enough. And then, yeah, this is where I noticed I hit 270 hours, and yeah, you take this bubble off left. Yeah, I'll go through. Okay, this is just a strat rundown. I'll go through like my mindset and thoughts after. I know I said that before, but I'll say it again. Oh yeah, I should probably explain that. So there's lore behind this. You used to be able to go to the there's an invisible barrier here. You used to just be able to go across the invisible barrier, up to flag 15, go back down, and there's a water trigger on flag 17 that covers the whole screen in water. And I don't know why that was there. Like, yeah, because I don't know. Was it? I don't know. I don't know the full lore, but basically now that's blocked off with springs, and I land on the thing. Okay, now here, man. So you might think I should be able to do a pixel lineup and then dash, but here's the kicker. After a dash, you slow fall, and after like walking off and not holding jump, you don't slow fall, obviously. And not slowing happens to, I'm quite certain, make your vertical position better for this right press. I think it makes it a variable 4-3F instead of a variable 2-3F. Although it's rarely a 2F. It might never be a 2F. But like it makes it more lenient, I'm pretty sure. Also, yeah, okay, it's fine. I never died to this right press. I also never died to flag 21. I went fucking 12 for 12 on flag 21, which I think is badass as hell. Yeah. Something I was like, okay, I'll talk about this mindset thing though. The someone who has progress on this golden said that like flag 21 is like a 70-30, right? And like it wasn't seeming like that to me in practice, but they were like, oh yeah, but in a run it's different. And yeah, it is a hard ass flag. But like that conversation, really I was afraid the thought of dying there because of it would make me die. So I'm really glad I just never died to it of the 12 times I got there. I swear it's like not that bad if you like do it properly and you mess it up in ways that don't kill you. You know? Yeah, I was worried that would affect my like mindset during runs, but it did not. I I killed it. Yeah, so I line up on the bottom pixel here because if you like jump from over here, which is what Enox initially did, and you like buffer dash on top of this, the upwind pushes you during the first bit of your dash. So like sometimes on some vertical positions, you won't trigger the feather. It's something like that because of order of operations. But if you do this, you hit the side of the feather, and buffer will always work. And yeah, you can buffer feathers like that. You slow down. This left press is very lenient, but it's like always awkward. Like it always scares me. I'm terrified, shaking in my roots, shivering in me timbers. But that's okay. In all versions of 7D1D, okay, so in 7D, there's just like a demo gap here, and in all versions of 7D1D, it was literally just that. You had to fit through the tight gap, and you could do it without a demo, I think, but yeah, now it's just this, and this is much cooler. There's a flag down there, but there's no reason to get it. Yeah, I mean, there's not really much to note here. There's a 1 pixel gap between this refill and the spinner. Don't do that. That sucks. And here you up tap, 1F tap into this pixel. Up left is a 4 frame. And then you kind of just want to like up dash early. You don't have to do it too early. This is very lenient. Clantis didn't do this strat, and I don't know why. Clantis' strat looks harder. But yeah, that's that. So before this run, I had a flag 12 death, which was very upsetting because I dashed too far left and I didn't react, and I just went for it anyway, and that's bad. So this time, I recognized that I was pretty far left. I mean, honestly, it would have been fine, but I was just being safe. Look at me, I'm happy with that one. And then, yeah, so this part's weird. Honestly, I don't even know anymore. You just kind of do it. You gotta make sure like you don't fit under this block, either by uncratching before or just being high enough. I don't really know. It's flag 11. Deadass? I think there's like not much to talk about. I think I get like a little commentary break here. Ooh, that's nice. It's pretty self-explanatory. Except, I'll talk about this. So, 4-tile corner kicks like this are very... Not corner kicks. 4-tile like corner jumps like this are very nice. There's a full vertical pixel that works like no matter your horizontal and vertical positioning within that pixel. So that's very nice. Wanna know what's not nice? 2-tile things like that. Which is exactly what we see in this flag. I will talk about how I dealt with that later, but let's talk about the start of this flag first. So you could just do a wave dash to this block, but here's the thing, and this is funny. There's like a very small risk of not extending. So in order to be super safe, I did the wave dash setup to grab this block, and then I do it again to actually. It actually has a purpose here to set up your horizontal positioning so that you don't die to these, but you land on the block. So here, to not make this block fall, usually when you hold into a block and like slide against it, let's start here. So, if you grab a block, you trigger it. You're able to grab a block on the pixel next to it or 1 pixel further away, and you're able to climb jump on the pixel next to it 1 pixel further away or 2 pixels further away. So there's 1 pixel where you can climb jump without having grabbed the block first. and you have to end up in that pixel. Now to end up in that pixel, that's subpixel dependent. And to manipulate my subpixel, what I do is I release right before colliding with the block so that I don't like slide into the block. And after colliding with the block, I jump. I kind of did it weirdly here. Like, this is like a thing you just go for, and if you drop the block anyways, it really doesn't matter. Yeah, so this guarantees you have 0.5 subpixels, and then that guarantees you will be on the right pixel to not trigger the block. And in here, alright, so, check this out. This is what I do. I do this. Now, this strat was so hard to find. Like, yeah, I mentioned earlier, 2-tile corner jumps like this, they are mean. They are not friendly. There is not one whole vertical pixel that works. They're mean. They're assholes. They're dickheads. But there is ways to normalize your subpixels enough. So, if you slide into this block, this guarantees you either have you're either 0.5 or 0.32 pixels away from the block. Then you climb up to the top pixel, and then you climb jump, and then on this frame you're guaranteed to have collided with the block and have horizontal subpixels of 0.5 because climb jumps give you 2/3 of a pixel, and you will be within 2/3 of the block. So you do that, and then you'll always pass the up spikes on the same frame. No matter where you are vertically, as long as you're on the top of the block. So this completely normalizes your horizontal subpixel. You're in the exact same spot horizontally here. And now vertically, I mentioned this earlier in 500 meters. You can go back to my 500 meters 3 explanation of that one jump if you need a refresher. But if you need like a reminder why. But if you slide down from the top of a block onto it, this guarantees you're in the middle half of the pixel. And being in the middle half of the pixel vertically, combined with the perfectly normalized horizontal subpixel, this makes this strat work, wall kicking away and buffering 2 more wall kicks. That makes that work every time to line this up. And it's kind of amazing. That strat was so hard to find. Like, so much subpixel. Like, I probably spent several hours just labbing this flag, and it finally came to fruition. You wanna... Small note, it is possible if you neutral too well to hit these spikes at the top. So you fall down a bit before. And honestly, I didn't really do that, but it's fine. Now here's the downside. If you can even consider it a downside. I just thought of something. Okay. Anyways, you're flashing red, so you need to do this. Which, I pause buffered it once, and the timing for the wall kick away was a 5 frame, which is pretty lenient. And normally what you do is you grab the top of the block, and then jump off of it. But that's a 3 frame on the jump, and one of the frames is bad in that you have to like neutral off of here. Like, this is genuinely more lenient. Even though it looks scarier, this is more lenient. It is a harder to read 5F though. It's like that one part in 2.5K2 where I took the easy to read 3F over the hard to read 5F. Like, this 5F is hard, but it is not as hard as the fucking setupless corner jump. Yeah, by the way, if you don't do this setup, it's a setupless corner jump, or you have to neutral around this spinner, both of which are stupid 24 minutes into a golden. Like, actually just insane. It's such a big help that I found the strat for that flag. Okay, yeah, and then you just go here. I do this instant hyper by holding down and then doing dash and jump. I think that's cool. Yeah, so here, in order to be ultra safe, landing on the last pixel here, I jump and then press left, because when you like, I don't exactly know the rate. Basically, if you do a 1F tap in the air, you move left on a 1F tap on the ground. Same with a 2F tap. And a 2F tap on the ground moves you over a pixel, so there's a chance you'll skip over the entire pixel if you accidentally 2-frame tap, which would be really bad. But that chance doesn't exist if you do it in midair. Now, I never mess up 1 frames because my keyboard is good, but I still do this just to be absolutely safe. And here you just jump in the first 4 frames of the super, like it's pretty lenient, then you'll grab this block. Sorry. Ow. And here, any tiptoeing pixel is good. Yeah. Okay, these next 2 flags are big hard, and then it gets easy for a bit, and then it's hard again. So, alright. Normally, if you just do a regular jump here, and then buffer everything, this right dash is a 2-frame, but I do something to make it a 3-frame. I do vertical subpixel manipulation. Doing this up dash, grabbing the wall, sliding down, and then a hyper grabbing the wall, sliding down, puts you in the top 0.02 of the pixel. And what this does is it just lines up your position better so that if everything's buffered, the left dash is a 3F. And if you miss a buffer by 1 frame, it's still a 3F. And I think like 5 of the 6 frames you can dash left on work for it. I don't fully remember. Either way, lenient as hell. Okay. Hold on, I'll talk about that later. Yeah. So this is a reverse where the jump is timed in refill freeze frames. Which, by the way, the way this works is buffering. Like, there's 4 frames before an action where if you're unable to do the action, but then you start being able to do the action, you'll press it. The action will happen once you're able to do it. So, like, you right dash. Then you can press jump during these freeze frames, which you can't jump during freeze frames. The game doesn't progress. But you can jump after the freeze frames. So you do a freeze frame buffer timing. And refills give you 3 frames of freeze frames, and also there's the frame you move into it. So refill buffer timings are 4 frames. So this is like a really it's a really awkward reverse. Like doing quick reverses like this is so awkward, but you gotta. And this up left is kind of hard. Then you do an instant hyper here, and in this run I did it a bit too high that I very nearly died. Like wow, dude. But I lived, so that's cool. So here's another one of the quick reverses. What you're supposed to do is a reverse super and extend it, which is really hard, and then do another super, but you can just do a reverse demo hyper and full jump and it lines up. It's so nice. If that strat didn't exist, this would be so much harder. Like, genuinely, this would be like maybe the hardest input in the map. I don't know if that's true. I haven't played it much. But yeah, you just do a quick reverse. Obviously, the further left you are, the slower you're able to do the reverse and still live. Now you might be thinking like, well, what if you like just land on it and then buffer a hyper? Well, that's kind of hard, but I think it would be easier if it worked, but it doesn't work. And the reason why is because, look here. So I land on the cloud on this frame, and then this is an instant hyper. Let's analyze the instant hyper. I press dash, and the cloud moves down like an extra 3 pixels, right? If you do that here, the cloud will move down an extra 3 pixels or so in comparison, and that just makes you too low to be able to go over this spinner. Like, most of the time, the large majority of the time. Anyways, I kind of got close on that left press. That's definitely a wave dash. Wait, hold on. Okay, yeah, no, okay, we're good. This you kind of have to jump late on the cloud. If you jump too early, you can just go back if you recognize it. Thankfully, Fish Tank made like all of the refills in this map respawning, which is just so nice. I love that. More people need to do that if they don't introduce like map breaking cheese strats that skip all the gameplay. You should just make the refills respawn. Yeah, Flag 7, welcome to Cloud Ultras. Welcome to unnerfed Cloud Ultras. There's like a Cloud Ultra in Mountain, but it's nerfed. which makes it so much easier. Uh, so basically, the way these work, the way ultras work in general, is you need to collide with the ground to get the 1.2x speed boost. Colliding with the ground is not the same as being the pixel above the ground, but you can jump if you're the pixel above the ground. Like if you like it doesn't. I collided the ground on this frame. You can tell. Okay, hold on. How do I explain this? Like there's one pixel, which is the pixel directly above the ground. You need to like skip past that pixel and hit the ground to get the 1.2x speed boost. And this is essentially random. Like the positioning for this is essentially random whether or not this will happen. It happened here because I'm lucky, but you want to aim to not buffer ultras, basically. That you know, you don't buffer ultras. That's pretty common knowledge. You don't buffer ultras. But for these spike cloud ultras, there's only 2 frames after the first landing frame where you can jump. So you want to aim for a 2F window. And I'm pretty sure I hit them all. Like, I think I jump on this frame, right? Like, I don't think I jump on this frame. I think I jump on this frame. So I hit the 2F here. But yeah, basically Cloud Ultras, you really want to aim to hit a 2F, and it's hard. This buffer hyper is definitely very failable as well. Like, if you're too late, you'll ultra fuck. If you're too early, you'll just right dash. This is another one I think I got lucky on. Because you can tell because of the clouds animation. Like, I could have buffered this one, but I don't think I did. So. Also, there's the potential of doing an extended hyper into a down right onto this cloud, but I think that's way harder. Not only do I think the motion's harder, but unlike New 71D, these spinners are here, and that strat gets you more speed, and you're more likely to hit these spinners. So you wanna, like the instant hyper sets up your speed perfectly to avoid those spinners, kinda. Although I do a minor stutter. You can look at the input display and see I stop holding right a bit just to be safe. Yeah, it's, you know, instant hyper is good there. And then here's the last Cloud Ultra. And again, I think I got lucky with this one, but still, I think I hit the 2 frame on all of them, but I got lucky positioning on all of them. So that didn't matter, but... Oh yeah, and the positioning... The positioning needed to be able to buffer an ultra and get speed. That happens 5/8 of the time. Because at max fall speed, you're falling 2 2/3 pixels a frame. And it's a 1 pixel. So like 1 over 2.66 is mathematically... Wait. No, wait, yeah. Yeah, that's what you do. Yeah, that's 3/8. So there's only like 3 out of 8 positions that'll skip over that'll... It's a 5/8 chance to be able to buffer. You know, dude. Anyways, I haven't been explaining some things the best, I think. But I've been talking for a while. I'm trying. There's pretty much a lot of just free stuff up until Flag 3. Like, Flag 6 is just free. Flag 5 is also free. Like, there's one spike, basically. There's one single obstacle. The spike wasn't even always there. Flag 4, I guess you can fail, but, like, don't. It's not that hard. Look at that feather, though. It was so clean. Oh, yeah, dude. Oh, yeah, Mr. Krabs. I don't know why I said that. But, yeah, like, two buffer up dashes line you up well to hit the bottom of the feather, you know. Don't hold grab there. You don't want to accidentally grab the fucking wall. It would all be over. You buffer down right into this, so if you miss the buffer, you'll down right in anyway, and it's fine. And then here, there's a little funny strat, which is you hold up right into this wall and bounce off of it. And then you can hold up right, and you will always live there, as far as I know. And this thought didn't cross my mind until after I got the golden, but there's like definitely a better lineup. Maybe not. Maybe there isn't a better lineup possible. Maybe not. Either way, this up left is tight, and I dashed on the last possible frame, definitely. Like, look how close this gets. Entering the stream block is very rare, but it happened. Wanna know something else that's funny? That happened in Enox's 3,000 meters deathless as well, which I just think is kind of crazy. Like, the coincidence that both of those unlikely events happen in both of them. Anyways, you look over here at the platforms to time it. Demo hyper over. Okay, there's a nice strat for this Cloud Super. This Cloud Super used to be a big issue. You can either do it like reverse, completely normally, but that's scary. Like, you can hit this, you can hit this, you can like jump off the side, but then you have to make sure you don't like not get lift boost. You can still hit this, but being short isn't really an issue. But I found a strat that is better. I look at the spinners at the side here, and when I see this formation of pixels, you can updash and then buffer down left, right. And then this makes it so that you're always able to have 4 frames to jump on the super, and that makes it, like, it's very lenient, very nice. Way better than any other strat. And, yeah. Flag 2. I'm almost done explaining shit. Man. Okay, so you have to do this feather kind of tight. If you don't do it good enough, you can go back down to the cloud down there. It's fine. Yeah, this is just like a buffer thing. This is another buffer thing, which is a super cool buffer thing. 2 down rights and a left demo, and then you crouch under that. This up dash, it may not look that hard, at least to me. Like, this didn't look that hard at first, but it's a 3 frame. You have 3 frames to do that up dash. It's fucked up. All right. So here, it's just like in 7D. There's a spring block like here, there's a spring block like here, and there's a spring block there, and you're like supposed to like time dashes into them and time a down dash, you know. But instead, you can time an up dash and then buffer upright into the second spring, and then buffer right after hitting the spring, and then hold left, and that lines up hitting there. Then you can upright and then buffer another upright. Kind of just do dashless movement, or kind of just do like blind movement to hit this. You get used to it. Again, this is another thing you get used to. This neutral I died to once. It's kind of hard. And yeah. Okay. So, let's instead of talking about... Okay, I'll talk about what this is, and then I'll talk about why it was stupid in my clear run. So this right dash is a variable 2-3 frame. It can be a 2 frame. I think it's a 3 frame most of the time. I think. And then... the down right's lenient, but the jump is, you won't extend on this frame, so you have to either jump on this frame or this frame. It's a 2 frame, so there's a second potential 2 frame, and then this is again another Cloud Ultra, a potential 2 frame. Another one that I got lucky with the positioning on, but still hit the 2 frame, I think. Like, what the hell? Okay. So here's why this was scuffed. Firstly, eek! You don't get that close to that spinner. I'm pretty sure I was a pixel away from death, and that's fucked up, because that would have been very sad. Also, I downrighted really late. Probably late enough so that I could have slid past the spinner and, like, jumped later. Like, the jump timing probably wasn't a 2F, because I hit the downright so goddamn late. But, like, this is just really scuffed. My movement was bad here. And that trend... Oh, well, let me explain. You might think a super looks nicer. Like, if the issue is timing the jump, then a super you could get more height. But the super is so hard. Because you tend to do the jump, like, okay. Jumping from a wave dash sets your speed to 325. When I do it here, it sets it over on this side. If you do a super, most of the time it's going to set your speed to 325, like back here or back here. And basically that results in way less speed, way less distance, and it makes it really hard to make the distance as opposed to being free. Like, if you hit the demo hyper inputs, you will make it. I have never failed from being short. But if you super, it is extremely hard to not be short on this. You know? Okay. So, hitting this spring, scary. Kinda. You have to release right because there's like a very rare case where you can hit this spinner. Okay. And so, here's another miracle. Okay, remember when I was describing how uh, in Enox's 3K Deathless run and in my run, we both entered the dream block, and that was rare. That is nothing in comparison to collecting this on the way up. I have had that happen to me, if my memory served me right, 2 times during my entire 88-hour second arc. Maybe that's not true, maybe it was more than twice, but 2 is all I can remember. And one of them was in the winning run. Like, I do this flag a lot, and this never happens. It's so precise. Like, I dashed on the last frame here, definitely. And I collected it by, like, I feel like sub-pixels in both directions. Like, it's so precise to do this. Yet I did it. And what this means is this makes getting up to the right dash way easier. Because you don't have to wait to buffer. Like, you're less limited. You can be further right and higher up. But, despite that, I still almost messed it up anyway. Like, I had so many frames to dash up, and I dashed really early. And then, I held right for really long, and almost hit this. Like my movement, I was very nervous. I don't know how I didn't die. Like, I kept messing up, but in ways that didn't kill me. With the fucking Flag 2 Cloud Ultra and this. And yeah, this right dash is a variable 2 or 3F. And it doesn't... The window isn't affected by if you demo or if you dash, but I preferred the visual cue for demoing. Like, dashing is weird. Like, you like, it's a 6 pixel dash, so it's a variable 2-3 frame. It's a 3 frame... Wait, is it a... Yeah. I think it's a... Is it a 2F most of the time? I don't know. I forget. I think is this a 2F most of the time? It might be. Then if that's true, then that's the same with it. Is that true? No, it can't. That can't be true. I think it's. I don't know. Either way, it's a variable 3-2F, and I prefer the visual cue to demo than regular dashing. And then again, you demo wall bounce to get good height on this, and then neutral here to make sure the cycle's good, and you do it. You climb up. Look at all the moon creatures. Okay, I don't know if this commentary is good. I feel like I don't know. Maybe it's insightful to people who don't know the map, but I know the map, and I just sound like a dumbass to myself, you know? Anyways, the jump onto the golden block is funny, because it's, like, undoubtedly the thing I have practiced the least. Because, like, you know, you don't really have a golden here that often. So it always scares you to do this jump, but it is very free. It is extremely free. Yeah, and anyways, that golden block gives you the extra height to hit a water trigger here, which you go out to Ogmo Room. Which, by the way, a lot of people don't know Ogmo somehow. That's Ogmo. Red guy. Ogmo from Jumper by Maddie Thorson. So yeah, a bunch of buffer strats to time the wind cycle. I think the first screen is the hardest screen of Ogmo. There's 4 screens in total. This one is the hardest because left one kicks in here, and oftentimes this frame won't work. Like, I treat this as like a 2F. Clantis did a thing to make it a buffer, and I didn't like it. And maybe I would have liked it if I had actually practiced it, but I'm stubborn and I didn't like doing Clantis' strats most of the time. So, I didn't do it. I just aimed to hit the 2F, and I never died to it. Never punished. But yeah. Depending on, like, okay. In order to have the last dash be the best chance of being a 3F, you want to go as soon as possible here. But not too soon, because you'll hit this spinner. So it's like a very delicate balance you want to try to strike. You know? But ideally you just hit the 2F. And you know how that last dash could be a 2F? I thought that... I said I'm so shaky there. Because I was so shaky. We do a bunch of buffers to time it. It's pretty shrimpful. Yeah, all these up dashes, these are 3 frames. This up dash is a 3 frame. And okay, so all of these up dashes, the leftmost pixel is just like flag 21. There's a 0.02 pixel range where it'll be a 2 frame instead of a 3 frame. And that basically equates to a 2% chance, I think. Is that even true? It might be like a 1.5% chance. Either way, it's very unlikely. But there's just a small chance you get fucked over and you can't updash on that pixel, basically. So Agma 3 is the easiest Agma room, definitely. Like, there's one 3 frame, and then everything else is chill. But I almost messed it up, and here's when we mention another moment of me being stubborn. Clantis buffered these up dashes after like dash into the spring, then buffer up dash. I didn't like that. Not too fond of that. I don't know, dude. Like, same thing as the other strat, I guess. Maybe I would have liked it if I tried it more. But basically, I almost dashed too late here. I was uncomfortably far left, so I had to, like, time the buffer weirdly. Yeah, it was awkward, but it worked out. The funny thing about this buffer, since the wind pushes you the frame you dash, there's two outcomes here. You can either dash and then hit the spring again, the frame of the dash, which I think happened here, yeah. Or you can dash and then hit it the frame later. It just depends on if the wind pushes you into the spring or not. And if it's this one, you go further right because you hit the spring one frame earlier, relatively. Kind of weird. Okay. Upwind, probably the second hardest Agma room. Line up on this pixel. This right dash is like a 6 frame or something, but if you dash late, then this up dash becomes a 2 frame, which, by the way, I died to this up dash. I missed the 3F window, though. I just kind of threw. Like, I didn't. It wasn't a 2F I missed a 3F. But I didn't miss it the second time. Then you demo into this spring so that you go just under this spinner. Which, by the way, looks really close, but I don't think it ever fails. I hope it doesn't. Like, goddamn, look at that. Yeah, again, that's a 3 frame. You go left to avoid those spinners. You buffer. I do buffer this one, because Enox did that. Then you go up there to avoid the spinners. And then, it's the last input. The last 3 frame. You just gotta time it. And fun fact, I dashed on the one frame that had a 2% chance of failing. So imagine that happened. And then this up dash, okay. You're supposed to do a diagonal demo here, but obviously you can skip it. The diagonal demo, I think, is a 4 frame, and the up dash is like a 16 frame. It's free. So yeah, that's that. That's, like, I explained the strats. Yay. Okay, but that's only part 1. Although part 2 is gonna go by much quicker. I talk about my actual, like, progress and mindset and stuff. So the very first time I made it to 2.5k in Arc 1, I fluked it and I made it to 3k. And then in the next like 26 hours I didn't get back. And then I quit for 10 months. And then it took me like 60 hours to get back to 3k basically. I died to this like 3 out of 4 times I got there in Arc 2 or some dumb shit. I don't remember, but eventually I solved my 2.5k issue, and I genuinely, I think I got it like fucking like 8 times in a row, 9 times, like a lot of times in a row. I don't know, I just stopped dying. Which is kind of nice. Consistency like skyrocketed. Like, once I stopped dying to 2.5k, that's just a ton of 3k attempts. Yeah, obviously, look at my BPM, 125. Like, the more I got to Temple, the less and less it made me nervous. Like, I'm not that nervous right now. Even at the start of 3k, I'm not even that nervous anymore. I don't really get that nervous up until, like, no wind. And then the nerves, like, slightly hit, and they really hit after flag 7. You know. And then they're completely ungodly levels of nerves at past flag 2. Like, that's just insane. Yeah, I had like I think two dumb throws in 2.5k orb, but it was a struggle to get back to 3k. But I did, and once I did, I made it to flag 10. And I actually died to flag 10 to the setupless corner jump because I didn't have a setup yet. Finding the setup was such a huge development in 71D gaming, you know. Okay, so fun fact, yeah. So I mentioned this earlier, but I went 12 for 12 on flag 21. I did not die to this flag, and I passed it 12 times, which I think is pretty good. And I only died to upwind once, and it was stupid because my hand light just did the wrong thing during a feather. Yeah, like at this point, I'm really not that nervous. Like 145 is not that bad. I'm pretty relatively focused. It's fine. Yeah. Once you pass flag 10, it's like, oh shit, I'm at the two big ones, two of the big ones, flag 8 and 7. Like passing flag 8's scary, and then passing flag 7 is crazy. I had like 3 that's the flag 8 and like 1 the flag 7 or something. My pass rate on flag 2 was 2 out of 4, which is stupid. Yeah. And then I remember my nerves this run. I don't know. I think I was too nervous to properly play, but my muscle like memory and for just practice carried me. Like I felt like I'd die here because I was like, I don't know, everything felt weird. But I didn't die because I have done this many of times in practice before. This ultra was stupid close. You know, I already explained that. Grabbing the refill honestly kind of threw me off because I have no practice with that. Like, if I died after grabbing the crystal on the way up, on the upright, like that'd be just tragic. But yeah. Then during Agma room, I was that Agmo 3 was scuffed as hell. I got really close to dying, and that made me so nervous for Agmo 4. I was even more aware of what was happening this time. Like, I was calmer in my first Agmo 4 run. But I did it. I fully expected to die to the last input, and when I didn't, I was just completely shocked. I guess as you can tell by my face. Yeah, so that's that. Um, this map means so much to me. Like everything I was doing in Celeste has built up to this. Let's go look at my videos. Why not? Let's take a peek and see how like pretty much everything just built up to this. I'll go through the timeline. The banger thumbnail. Okay. So yeah, I'm just going. But even before I started doing Celeste, I thought that United's 3K Deathless was like the coolest looking thing ever. So I was already like exposed to 71D. So I just went through main game, got Farewell Golden, then I started playing the D sides. Wait, no, I played the D sides before Farewell Golden, then I started goldening the D sides. And I think before I did 5D Golden, I cleared 71D for the first time. That's a video on my alt. My first alt. And, you know, then I goldened 7D, and it took like 28 hours, right? I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the right number. It was at 38. It was 28, right? I think it was 28. I don't. One of them. And then pretty much as soon after I got that, new 71D got an update which nerfed it a lot, and then I was shadow grinding that. But then it was too hard to shadow grind because it's harder than 70 golden, and that's like fucking crazy actually. So I I like fluked this from flag 19, right, or something, right? That's crazy. I don't remember what I did. Yeah, but you can see how that's building up to 71D. Then I did the hardest golden at the time, although honestly, it's not that far apart from me. I'm consistency filled, I swear. And then it starts. Here's yeah, I got no win deathless, and then I got 3K deathless, which at the time with my strats, 3K deathless was harder than 70 golden for me. I dead ass think that it's easier now with better strats and more game knowledge, but back then it was harder for me. I got all checkpoints deathless, and then I was just doing more 71D stuff for a while until I got my wisdom teeth out. And, you know, keeping up mindset for 71D was so hard. Because, like, the community pressure, like, everyone was like, oh my god, Nins is going to get it really quick. Nins will get it before 2023. Nins will get it before 200 hours. Nins is, wow. I wasn't going to do that. It was going to take 500 hours. It was just going to do that. That was what was going to happen. And I couldn't push through. There's also the fact that everyone thought that Latin was way harder for some reason, even though it's not. So, that basically made Water Mountain Folklore Golden the prerequisite golden. Like, I had to get that before I got 71D Golden. So, yeah, anyways, then I just started playing shit. Like, just random stuff. Spring Collab. D-Sides, I mean, that's mildly related. Summit. Yeah, I was kind of just passing the time, I guess. SJ released, I played through that. Then I was doing random goldens to pass the time until Fangame Marathon, because I had a thing in that. And then as soon as Fangame Marathon was over, I started grinding Water Mountain Folklore Golden. And I got that in 80 hours. And then, shit's real. Now I just grinded 71D for like a month and a half until I got it. It is the accomplishment that means the most to me out of everything I could possibly do, I think. Yeah, no, like, such a big thing. Shout outs to Enox. Enox has always inspired me with video games, even before I started playing Celeste. He's just so cool and awesome and cool and awesome. Oh, yeah! This was literally the only attempt Enox watched. This was the first attempt. This is the first time he joined my stream when I was playing 71D. He doesn't watch Twitch like at all, apparently. And he just popped in and saw most of this run. And the two, like, entering the dream block and collecting the refill on the way up. Those two things happened in both of our runs. Like, genuine Enox blessing for this. That was crazy. That's crazy. Genuinely, it really makes it feel super special, which is good. I was worried it would stop feeling special after fucking Clantis got it, and like, said it was way easier, and kind of like, I was afraid it'd lose its magic, and it did partially, but not fully. Like, fucking Enoch's blessing is magical as hell, bro. It still would have been cooler if I was first, but like, whatever. You can't undo time, but like, the circumstances suck. But it's fine. Yeah, I don't know. Is there anything else I want to say? They're going for 2.5 hours. Is there anything else I want to say? Not really? I don't know. Not really? I think I'm done? Oh, I want to make sure I'm done, you know? Like, okay, I think my first, like, flag 10, my first flag 10 run, I cried a bit from that, and then nothing else, like, impacted me emotionally as much as that one. Like, my first flag 2 run, I barely cared, which is weird. My first Agma run, that one kind of... Actually, no, my first Agma run I barely even thought about, and then I just got it the next day. and I definitely have not processed this yet. Like this is like fucking 2,300 hours and 2 years of Celeste has been building up to this, and it has reached this conclusion. And how do you comprehend that? You don't. That's impossible. But either way, yeah. Thanks everyone for supporting me along the way. It's kind of like a new era from here on out. I think, like it's there's pre 71D nins and then there's post 71D nins. Like it's just it's all different now. Like everything was building up to this, and now it's done. So I can't build up to it anymore. Now I just have to do stuff, other stuff. That's weird, dude. Uh, okay. Yeah, thanks for watching. I think that commentary, here's the commentary. I definitely fucked up explaining some things. The piss break was awesome, but uh, I think I explained most things well. Yeah, I don't know.